recording here. Welcome again. Thank you for joining us today. This is an Around the World series profiling our exchange partnerships. Today we're excited to have Dr. Sibylle Klemm and Silke Viol, our partners at TU Dortmund. And so I'm going to hand it over to them to introduce themselves and start the presentation. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, so then I might start. So some of you, David, I see you. You're back in the German course. Happy to see you again. Guten Tag. So we will talk today about the possibility of going to Dortmund. My name is Sibylle Klemm. I teach American Studies at the University of Dortmund, and I've been twice to Oglethorpe University as a German instructor in 2014 and in 2019-20. So I know a little bit your usual classroom. This is, of course, an exception this semester, but I really miss Oglethorpe, and that's it. Silke, do you want to go on?
Yeah, sure. I am working in the international office. I'm the deputy director there, and I'm also taking care of all incoming students from abroad. And I've also been the German instructor at Oglethorpe University, and I checked it, it's exactly 20 years ago. And suddenly I felt much older than I did before already, but so it's 20 years ago, and I really have a feeling I need to come back at some point when traveling is possible again. And I had a wonderful year. And every time when there's something going on with Oglethorpe, of course, part of my heart is with you. So I'm looking forward to give you some information today about studying at TU Dortmund University. And I hope that we will see some of you in Dortmund in person at some point. And yeah, so I will pass the floor back to Sibylle, and then we move on later.
A few remarks about the background. First of all, we have a lot of snow in Dortmund. Can you see that? That's not always the case, so it's very special, and I enjoy that very much. And also the background, we have two birds in the house who are not quiet, so I'm sorry for that. I cannot close the door here, so I'm sorry. So we will do, first you will watch a little video from a student from Oglethorpe, Ian Horitz, who spent a year in Dortmund and talking about his experiences. Then you will get some more information from Silke, and at the end I will also try to encourage you to think about coming to Dortmund for an exchange. So the Oglethorpe community is pretty big. So people from here have been to Oglethorpe, but we have also a lot of people from Oglethorpe here. For instance, in the international office, we have Laura Hope, who is a graduate from Oglethorpe University working at our university now. And
4 years getting my degree.
Right. So, and here's Ian. Do I share the screen right now with Ian? Do you see him already? Okay, good.
Yeah, we see Ian. Dr. Klemm, you may want to reverse, go to the beginning.
Yeah, and we noticed that the sound might not be super, but that's why you have the link also in your chat, so you could watch it again. So, okay, I started and then I will.
My name is Ian Horitz. I graduated from Oglethorpe in 2019 with a major in philosophy and an independently planned minor in German language and culture. I spent
So Dr. Klemm, it's gone quiet on my end.
those 2 semesters were the most exciting, intense, and rewarding time in my 4 years getting my degree. Originally, when I decided I wanted to study abroad, I was pretty dead set on going to Berlin. And while I'm sure I would have enjoyed it there, I am definitely happier that I ended up going to TU Dortmund, and I would not change that for anything in the world. I think Dortmund offers a much more quintessential German experience, and I still got to visit Berlin while I was there, so kind of best of both worlds, really. And by the end of my time there, I really felt like I was someone living in Dortmund and in Germany, as opposed to just someone visiting and kind of experiencing it from the outside. I have a few things to say about Dortmund as well as TU Dortmund itself, but I'll start with the city of Dortmund. It's definitely not the flashiest city, and most people, I think, who are familiar with it are soccer fans. But that doesn't mean that you have to be a soccer fan to enjoy Dortmund. One of my personal favorite things about Dortmund is how much green space, how much natural space is kind of scattered throughout the city. Even just directly behind my dorm building, there was a Naturschutzgebiet, or a natural conservation area, and I would go back there and take walks through the trails there pretty much every single day. It was a wonderful way to relax and kind of decompress, because study abroad can be stressful sometimes. There's plenty of parks, and I just think that Dortmund has kind of struck a nice balance between green space and city space. And as far as city life goes, there is plenty to explore in Dortmund and the surrounding cities. There's different events going on all the time. There are museums for just about any interest. Really anything you could be in the mood for, you can find in Dortmund, or just a stone's throw outside of Dortmund. And of course, when you want to travel further outside of Dortmund, it's an awesome kind of central spot to go just about anywhere from. During my year there, I visited 7 countries outside of Germany and countless more cities inside Germany. With the public transportation there, it really is about as easy as it gets to visit wherever you want to go. As far as TU Dortmund goes, I had a wonderful experience there, and I think the contrast between TU and Oglethorpe is a very interesting one, because TU is a far bigger school. There's way more students, way more buildings and everything. The variety of classes and subjects offered is astounding compared to Oglethorpe, but you can still kind of maintain the social closeness that Oglethorpe provides. It was very common for me to run into my friends on campus, and it's a great centralized area to kind of gather together and study or start a night of partying. Taking classes in a foreign language can be incredibly intimidating. I know the feeling very well, because when I arrived in Germany, I had very little German language skills. And shortly after that, I had to start taking multiple 400 level philosophy courses taught in German. I won't lie, it was an incredibly difficult and stressful experience, but I don't regret it. And really, I highly, highly recommend not avoiding taking classes just because they're taught in German. I personally don't think there is any better way to fast track your German language skills than taking a class that you're interested in that's taught in German alongside dedicated German language courses. And in my experience, I emailed my professors before classes started, and then on the first or second day of class, I spoke with them and just kind of let them know what my situation was, that I was an international student still learning German. And they were all very understanding and willing to help figure out the best way to approach the classes from my circumstances. And everything ended up working out really, really well. You just have to be open with your professors and really put the work in as well. And ultimately, my German skills improved way, way more than I ever thought they would have. Overall, I really cannot overemphasize how amazing my experience at TU Dortmund was. And frankly, if it is a possibility for you, I definitely recommend studying there for a full year if you can. I made multiple lifelong friends during my time there, and it will always, always be a time I look back on very fondly in regards to both my academic and personal growth.
Okay, so this was Ian. Good. That's from
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so now what I decided to do is I would like to share my screen with you and kind of walk you a little bit through our new website, because today it will be a lot of information for you, and you will probably want to go back to the website and see all the information. So I will do this right away. So here we go. So you should be able to see the TU Dortmund University website. Do you do that? Okay, perfect. So if you're on our website, and I shared this link in the chat with you, so you can go there later on. And then you are an incoming student, because for us, you are an incoming. For Oglethorpe, you are an outgoing student. But please don't go to international students, because that's for degree-seeking students. And incoming students, everything is very special. So you click on here, and you are coming within our USA partner programs, what we call the USA program. So you click on that, and then you're right on our website. And here, I will get to that a little bit later. You find a page with our highlights. And this is something I would like to stress very much, because many reasons you've just heard some points already, I think are really points that not every German university offers. So we have the 4-week German intensive language course prior to each semester. So even though, of course, it's perfect if you stay an entire year with us, I know that for some of you that might not be possible. It's fine if you come for a semester, of course. And the 4-week intensive language course prior to each semester really prepares you for the classes, and will absolutely help you. So even if you do have only little German language skills, you can brush them up and even gain more experience, and then start the semester with a better feeling, because once you've been here for the first 4 weeks, you feel a lot more comfortable when you start with the classes. So the 4-week German intensive language course is free of charge for our exchange students. So it does not cost you anything. And then we do have language courses throughout the entire semester. So you are free to take language courses. You could even take Spanish courses or French classes. But of course, you can also go on with learning German and go into the language courses that are offered throughout the entire semester. Of course, we have a double program, which we call the Dortmund Doubles for our students from the US. And so we will match you with a Dortmund student who will be by your side and help you with like all the fun stuff, because we're in the international office are taking care of all the logistics and housing and the visa and all that boring stuff, but that needs to be done, and we don't think it's boring, so we will try to guide you through this process. But with the Dortmund Double, with the German student by your side, we think that, of course, like, I don't know, going out and go for a walk or have a coffee or so is a lot of fun. Aside from a number of activities that are offered anyways. Of course, you will have an academic advisor who will be assigned to you, which in most cases will probably be Sibylle, right? Since for
the Oglethorpe students, it will be my pleasure.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you already know your academic advisor already. And of course, you can choose from all courses that are offered at TU Dortmund University. We didn't do that much of an instruction of our university, but we are pretty big. We are about 34, we have about 34,000 students which is pretty big from Oglethorpe point of view. But since you're studying in your specific faculties, it feels a lot smaller, honestly. And in the American Studies department, you will probably take some classes and then you go and follow the classes in your other fields that you might study. And there, of course, you will have contact persons as well. You can also try, if you're interested in that, to do a teaching internship. We do have cooperation with a school close by. And of course, that's what actually not many universities in Germany offer, is an accommodation service. So what is called Studierendenwerk Dortmund, they're not part of the university, like you know that from your home university. It's a different part in a different organization kind of, but they offer inexpensive dorm rooms for students, for the German students as well, or other international students. And we do have a certain number of rooms reserved for you. So you don't have to go on that waiting list, which can be very long, and usually exchange students would never have a chance to get a room, because sometimes other degree-seeking students are on a waiting list, let's say for half a year or sometimes even a year, and you can sneak in and make a room reservation, which we think is really, really helpful. We do have a semester ticket. That's not a tuition fee, but it's about, I think, 250 euros right now for the entire semester. And there is a semester ticket included for the public transportation in the entire state of North Rhine-Westphalia. And students really appreciate that. I know from Oglethorpe, I mean, it's a different situation, but here you're in the middle of a metropolitan area where you have many, many cities around. You can go to Cologne, you can go to Düsseldorf, to Münster, very historic cities, and you can do all that by using the public transportation ticket, and you don't have to pay extra for that. So that we think is really a great thing. The city of Dortmund, we have about 600,000 inhabitants, and as Ian just said, it's pretty green, even though we are in a really metropolitan area. And there are some really nice special offers at the theater in Dortmund, which is quite big, that students from TU Dortmund University receive special prizes to take part in the cultural events. And of course, this is not on here because the university, the rector does not like it that to be in the focus, but we have a very big soccer stadium around. Maybe some of you know Borussia Dortmund, and that is actually really close to the university campus. And for everyone who's excited about soccer, that is the city to be, I would say. I don't want to play that video right now, but you're very welcome to have a look at that. It's a video that one of our students did, and he used a drone, and you can get an idea of what the campus looks like. It's a lot different to what you know, because it's a lot bigger, but you don't have to go everywhere, because it's just, you have to go to the faculties. And of course, having a big campus is sometimes also nice, because you have more cafes and other places to go and to chill. So here we do have an overview of all the options you have. Of course, you can come for a semester or two, or what you see here too is the Global Edge program. If you want to study for a semester in the winter and do an internship in the summer, that would be a good program for you. And we also do have the International Summer Program, which this year, and you will receive, Marisa, an email by the end of this week, we will do that virtually this year. So if you still are interested in gaining some credits for the summer, the international summer program would be a nice option. And we changed a few things for this year, only for this year, and make it a little bit more flexible. So usually the students have to do the German language course. They have to take part in the cultural program, and we kind of force them to take part in the entire experience and the program. But this year we are a little bit more flexible, and you can just shop around. It's really inexpensive. The new price is just 150 euros for an 8-week program. So that's quite inexpensive, and it's just because this year we don't have costs for housing and health insurance and a number of things that go along. So plus we do have some university money that we want to put in that, so that it's very inexpensive for the students this year. And yeah, so if you want, you can of course have a look at that. But coming back real quick, and then of course I will be happy to answer your questions. After having a look at the highlights, of course you can click on courses, and here you can go to the course catalog and look at the different faculties, what's interesting for you, the German intensive course and the language courses. There are more information right here. For housing, of course, here's our accommodation service, right? And you see what the dormitories of the Studierendenwerk are like. And yeah, the application process, of course, that is easy. You just click on here, and Marisa would nominate you, and then you can fill that in. And of course, if you do have special needs, I always like to stress that we are very helpful in making arrangements. If you want to travel with your child or your children, we can make arrangements. Or if you have special needs, we will try to address them, and not address them, but to help you with that. These are the deadlines. You have the lecture periods and the semester times and all of that. I don't want to read everything for you, but that is like the different steps. And then after the selection, we will give you more information on that, and after your arrival. So I won't go farther than that. But what I would like to stress is that we have, or I do have, 2 wonderful student assistants who are only there to take care of our overseas incoming students. So they answer all your questions before and during your stay. In addition, of course, to the academic part, which Sibylle will have a look at, but all the logistics we are taking care of. So you would not be left alone or have to fear that at a big university there will be no one who will help you. And of course, we do have a welcome session on the first day of the intensive language course, and you will receive all the information, and we do all the appointments for you with the city where you get your visa and stuff, and we do all that in advance. So yeah, I can just say we are very happy to have you and to help you and to answer your questions. And if you have any questions right now, just feel free to ask.
Thank you so much. I was just going to put in a link in the chat to make sure the videos that are available on the Oglethorpe Global Education playlist, that everyone knows where those are. Again, I will be adding the Around the World series to that list, but these are videos specific to helping Oglethorpe students who are interested in studying abroad understand the different options available beyond our exchange partnerships, but also financial considerations. So these are a couple of things that I think anyone interested in studying at our partner in Dortmund will value and benefit from. So I'm gonna stop the recording and